tell you a story that, deep down, I know happens in the darkness of the world and the elite. That is, the poor immortals. There is a foundation that seems like light and hope as it helps homeless people recover and live a dignified life. It all seems very honorific, but some are suspicious of these wolves in sheep's clothing. Dr. Emily Smith seems sinister and with a guilty face. Her appearance makes anyone suspicious. On this day, journalist J.J. Peterson comes to investigate a little about the history of the foundation, but he has a suspicion that he will find something very big and heavy. As they approached the hallway, everything was dark, and Dr. Emily Smith became excited as she told a terrible secret. JJ, you have to understand, our work here had transcended medicine. We were on the verge of unlocking the eternity. But J.J. Peterson says, but at what cost, Emily? These people, these poor souls, they are guinea pigs. Dr. Emily Smith says, your suffering will be worth it when let's achieve immortality. Imagine the knowledge we will gain. J.J. Peterson says, you're playing God, Emily, and don't you, I will let it continue. Emily Smith, raising an eyebrow. You won't stop me either, JJ. Are too curious for your own good. Teddy Peterson says, so you are willing to sacrifice their lives for the twisted experiment? Smith says, I didn't start this. The force, the cause of our search is deeper than you can imagine. The elite, powerful people that you cannot imagine. You are either with them or against them. As they approach hallway, everything was dark. There were the bodies of the homeless in the cryogenic capsules, some dead and dismembered and others preserved. This is terrible. JJ began to argue with the doctor strongly and threw her into a terrific cryogenic capsule, thus causing a terrifying event. The scene ends with the crunch of the broken capsule, the frozen breath of the poor immortal escaping into the cold air. The secret of the foundation has been discovered, and the real horror has just begun.
In the depths of the mental clinic, where the whisper of the five lanyard amounted to the tombs, Abraham pours out his troubled heart to Dr. Marcus. The camera focuses on Abraham. His face drams with fear and uncertainty, and as he sits opposite Dr. Marcus. Abraham, with voice trembling, Doctor, I don't know what's happening to me. It's like I am losing control. Marcus calmly. Tell me everything, Abraham. We'll figure this out together. As Abraham speaks, the camera shifts to the flickering candle flames. They're dancing like casting unsightly shadows across the room. Abraham, voice growing more frantic. There are moments when I feel like I'm not alone, like there is someone inside me, running the shrines. The sound of footsteps interrupts Abraham's compression, causing him to freeze in fear. Dr. Marcus gestured for him to hide behind a nearby bookshelf as he cautiously approached the source of the noise. Dr. Marcus whispering, say, stay here, Abraham. I will back. As Dr. Marcus moved through the shadows, the tension mounts, each footstep echoing obviously in the silence. Suddenly he comes face to face with a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Dr. Marcus, who are you? What do you want? The figure steps forward into the dining, revealing himself to be Abraham's strange brother. His face etched with pain and regret. The brother said, anguished, Abraham, it's me. I never meant for any of this to happen. As the siblings embrace, the camera captures the raw emotion of their reunion, their voices exchanged through the silent library. In that moment, amid the shadows and secret of the mental clinic, the tangled threads of Abraham's past and present begin to unravel, revealing truths moment terrifying that he never imagined. The scene fades to black, leaving the audience on the edge of their seats, eager to uncover the mysteries that lie ahead.
We are in Eloy's favorite season, for its colors and a clean example for saying goodbye to the stage of being a new and beautiful one. 18. A season that for the protagonist is a scene of liberations, cleansing and healing. His home, a beautiful country house without much decorations, but with rare paintings designed to express those feelings and thoughts not expected by society. That's the circus poses and self-satisfaction that's for cold-blooded persons. Well completed net. The head of each lich can perfect regardless of the water is perfect in the control, nothing lost. One thinks she hate was going to the city. She hate those horrible noise that the Dana really of the city gave him. That really made him fall into a trance of adrenaline and nervous attack. This guy with his good role at Good Samaritan. She's safe place was that which, for many, was just a cool space for your worst nightmares. For she, it was the place that did not judge or punish for unholy acts. of psychotic warnings. The less expect a narrowing room with a target reflected in every part of the room, in which she's arrived to be punished for his bad acts, without expecting to be a laboratory mouse, eager for an enemy eternally. Every day, Eloise wakes up with a scent from the birth of the bite thanks to proximate naturate. And yes, it was Eloise who woke up every day with the marks, bruises, and blown for potential strangers who loved spending the night with someone who gave them physical pleasure. Pleasure that was restated with a good price for her. Her mother, a combination for people accepted and praised in the society, taught her to be the possessor of the one's fears and submissive to the her own security. Eating and drink from the living, with the sole purpose of providing some life to the daughter. For Ellie, home and love did not exist, only falsetto and adrenaline. The creep song of firework burning kept her in space without smell that she tried to permeate into her skin. That the well nose was the symbol of everything being fine, but the thunderous noise of the city and its inaudible and misunderstood from various places made alerts. The dark, cold, and subtle sound of wind that hits her body, causing chill and the fractures of leaves, branches, and other twin things in the forest. Reviewed memories she had never experienced in her life, but that her mind made her poses of great adventures. Ellie loved hearing the night song of the forest. She felt that they were calling her, and she's found that rare place at her warm home. Let's get up and this is back in their house. Comfortable and warm house. And with that crunching noise following by some firework coming and the end, that harmonious smell that she's loved did not make her desperate but instead gave her a feeling of healing and freedom. Ellie left his house, but when he left, he noticed that something changed. It was no longer autumn, it was spring. It was the climax of the spring, a time of beauty and love. His forehead was clear. There was no trace of drench, much less it was dark. He took some to get ready and stood for a quick talk. But as he talked more and more and more and more, and Ellie saw that everything was the same, and the only things different was his home. Ellie determinedly entered the distant part of the forest. There is a fawn and small mountain, to watch she ran, passing over the green and flowered ground. I did not seem strange to her. On the contrary, she felt safe and peace. She arrived at the mountain and a little exhausted. She decided to sit down and repair the place. She was used to fields or no knowing here where it was. Ellie took refuge in the mind, creating different vibes and not at all real scenarios. He lost his mother on of the toes, the break games of his relative, in which the mother was free and they were youth hunters. Ellie winced everything without being enough. She was always the next one, and the one who ran with all her strength to hide behind a tree for and every days. Her family thought her be worse than she. In her mind, she had blurry memories of what her life was like abroad. Before it mercilessly murdering each of the relatives who played with her when she was little. She decided to fall, that stop being free, and to become as a human hunter without pain or regret. They looked at her that place when spring was ending. She was happy sitting in front of the here bonfire, which left with great fury what was left of the trees that she cut down to bury her fears, her endless suffering, and of course her relative. That day she was died loosely, as she was at her last shred of sanity, saying her mother for the last time and hearsay reality. Ellie returns to the room. That room never left. That room, that first floor, and that blurry image. That was his true reality. A reality that he omitted, due to the great fears that those possibly cause for his problems caused him.
In the inhospitable lowlands of a remote village in city of Kansas, a man was looked up in a foundation, how every day got up early and loved to be in the library of that place. Every saw him as a sad, unintelligent, and mentally unstable person. Many wonder how it was that he spent so many hours reading books, since his condition should not remember anything. The man was installed in one of the most desert and humid rooms of that horrible old building, which only had 5 people in charge of the care of the mentally ill and 10 patrons. This man's rooms didn't have artificial light, so he only saw the lights from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Everything was dark in that cool room. The walls seemed dirty hot blood and body fluids from other patients who previously lived there. A simple, dirty, and cool bed, a broken and smelly retreat are some of the things in the room. When the man is in his room, the Dr. Emily Smith is walking through the hallway towards to the rooms. He arrives in the room as every morning as it's part of his routine for applying medications to patients. Enters carefully to Carl rooms and says, "Hello, hi Carl, how are you today? How know you are my favorite patients?" Mr. Carls, with a little pretty and sarcastically with a trembling voice, says, "Not as well as you, but at least today I'm going to the library." The Dr. Emily Smith smiled and approached carefully, caresses his head, and says, "Calm down, Bobby, calm down." When the Dr. Emily ends her turn, tired because dealing with mentally ill is not easy, he goes to his office to make the medical reports. At midnight, the place it is ever darker. The darkness and the sound of animals and a church bell of the outskirts of the village. When the doctor is going to her house, Emily, whenever she leaves that place late at night, as is located far from the village in a rural area. The Dr. Emily When the Dr. Emily gets out of the place through a dark street full of mud and dry stress, her car shows foul, turned off and doesn't want to run on. The sound of the engine trying to exert force in the trick mood, and the tires screaming for wanting to get out of that place alone and dark. When the Dr. Emily can go out of that place horrible, she calls and asks her husband to wait for her to dine together.